You're meant to find this. Tomorrow is the day where everything changes for you. What if I told you that I was from the future and I have met the end of 2025 you and you have everything you want? You're thriving, you're healthy, you're successful, you are happy. And what if I told you that that will all come true for you as long as you right now start believing in yourself? Guess how many people in America set New Year's resolutions every year? I'll wait. Now, if that answer was 38.5%, you'd be right. But did you know that 23% quit their goals in the first week of January? But not only that, the saddest fact of all is only 9% of people who set their New Year's resolutions right now, only 9% of them will actually be successful. But girly, that is okay, because we are here to slay. Okay, you are going to be in that top 9% of the people who actually check off every single goal, and here is how. First and foremost, there's two versions of you at the end of 2025, and you can tell me which version of you you'd like to choose. Hi, I am from the future, and I'm here to say I have seen both versions of you and how your life is like, and everything you're doing, everything you've accomplished, how you feel. One version of you, let's call her version A. She, was really motivated at the start of the year, but then quit her goals because it got hard. You wanted to go and hang out with more friends. You wanted to go drink every single weekend. You wanted to go and eat fast food every single night because it just was so good. And how could you say no? Same with that is, how could you stop doom scrolling? You love TikTok. So you just sit there every night before bed scrolling away. Okay, great. You show up to school or work in sweatpants without your makeup or hair done, and you feel like crap, but you say, oh, I just like to be comfortable. But deep down, you really wish that you could be more put together, but whatever, I could never be like one of those girls. But on the contrast, version B of you, okay, she set her goals for 2025 and she stayed motivated. And sometimes stuff happened. She was not as motivated. There's times where she was really sad, where she was burned out, where she was struggling. But instead of saying, oh, poor me, I have to quit my goals, so I might as well quit them all together, she took a temporary pause and didn't view that as failure. She viewed that as investing in herself so she could heal, grow, learn from it, and then propel herself forward and pick up her goals right where she left them. She kept working. She stayed positive. She talked highly of herself, not only around other people, but to herself too when she was alone. She believed in herself and her dreams, and by the end of the year, she achieved them. Now, I'm from the future, so you have the choice right now. I'm coming to you right now at the start of 2025, and I'm saying, girly, the choice is up to you. Do you want to make the hard decisions? Do you want to stay motivated? Do you want to really start to think about the actions you're making in your life, the choices you are making, who you surround yourself with, your habits that you know are not serving you? Do you want to do something about that so you can genuinely become the girl on your Pinterest board? Or do you want to just turn a blind eye to it and become version A? Congratulations! If you selected version B, you'd like that future for the end of 2025. Amazing. Let's continue on with the rest of the podcast where I'm going to give you glow up tips, checklists, hot girl action steps so you can get to becoming her that much quicker. For instance, it could be as simple as switching out a bad habit for something that's better off of your dopamine menu. For instance, if you feel burnt out, if you got no sleep, if you know that you just have that desire to reach for that second cup of coffee in the day, but it's gonna make you feel anxious, it's gonna make you feel jittery, okay, go to your dopamine menu. Maybe drinking just an iced water would be better. Maybe drinking green tea or going for this wellness shot. I talk about it all the time. It's called Magic Mind. It's packed full of great ingredients like lion's mane mushroom, organic matcha, etc. You take this, essentially it works the same way in terms of coffee where it gives you that jolt of energy, but it's long lasting. You don't crash, you just feel super dialed in, and it actually helps reduce your anxiety. At least it does for me, and it says it's proven to do so as well. And that is just one of many examples of things you can add to your dopamine menu. I myself have been testing out this theory and essentially just swapping out my bad habits for healthier ones. I embarked on this challenge for 15 days called the Magic Mind Challenge. I talked about it a few podcasts ago. I'm officially done with that. And I have to say, I have fallen in love with this wellness Magic Mind drink. I will be taking it consistently. Yes, I still love my coffee, but you don't have to give it up, girl. I'm not going to sit here and say you have to completely ditch it. What I do is I'll have my cup of coffee if I'm gravitating towards it, if I'm craving it because I love it, but I'll also have Magic Mind as well. Typically, I would do Magic Mind first, and what I realized is after the 15 days is usually I'm not craving that cup of coffee, but some days I do, and I'll have my second one, and that is okay. But you're getting all of those amazing ingredients at the start of your day, and it helps me reduce my anxiety levels. If you girlies want to try out Magic Mind, you know I have your back. I have an amazing coupon code for you, and it's the first link in my bio. Okay, chapter number 2. You need to choose a few words, or at least a word, of the year. I typically would recommend choosing 2 words. One to represent your glow up, your self-improvement side of your year, and another that really represents the inner work that you know you need to do. Because it's one thing to get your hair looking hot, to improve your makeup routine, to work hard at the gym and get a killer body, but addressing the demons within you, the stuff where you're insecure about your past traumas and healing from that, you can never really achieve self-actualization if we're talking Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which essentially means the best version of you. You can never achieve that if you don't work on those underlying factors that are causing you anxiety, causing you depression, etc. Okay? So pick 2 words. For instance, your word to represent the glow up version of you, the most hottest, healthiest, happiest version of you for 2025 could be joy. It could be radiant. It could be success. Now, the word to describe the inner healing journey that you need to do this year, it could be forgiveness, balance, acceptance. Now, these words are very important because every single day I want you to repeat them both to yourself so that you genuinely remember these words. So when you're struggling, so when you need the extra motivation, you can internally just repeat those words to yourself, and it will remind you of why you were doing this, where you started from, and your end goal, which will help you hopefully pull yourself out of that slump, girl. Now, it girl, hot girl action step that you can do in 2025 to become the best version of you is to create a dopamine menu. Everyone talks about this. What the heck is a dopamine menu? Okay, you know, the winter uglies, the winter blues are here. Even in the summer, the spring, whatever, there's going to be moments of time where you're burned out, where you're sad, where you don't feel so good. And you know what happens to the type A girlies who listen to podcasts like these, who are subscribed, wink, wink, to podcasts like these? They feel like crap and they beat themselves up about it. They have a hard time detaching from their goals and allowing themselves for moments of self-care. And to those ladies, I suggest number 1, follow the TikTok or my personal Instagram, the Get Up and Glow podcast or Madison.Haynes. We have a glow up checklist or glow up challenge, 2 of which every single week. 1 glow up challenge a week is just a tiny challenge you can implement right now to become the best version of you. And the other one is like a self-care challenge of the week, because on this side of the internet, we're not about just like hustle. No, you're a busy girl. It's about prioritizing your mental health, your well-being, feeling feminine, because when you step into your feminine energy, you can manifest so much more than you ever thought was possible, while it's also working on yourself. But regardless, having a dopamine menu that you write in your notes app, for instance, where you say, okay, what makes you feel good? Think about it. It could be going to yoga. It could be watching a movie, a comfort film like Bride Wars, like The Devil Wears Prada, for instance. Figure out whatever little habits make you feel like a big warm hug, like just a comfort tasks, if you will. And when you feel like crap, go to your dopamine menu. Pick 1, 2, 3, however many things you need to do until you feel like that mother effing girl again. Okay, keep doing them, and then once you feel good and you've recharged yourself, you can get back up and glow. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, podcast title promo. But girl, every single time I tell you an 8-girl action step, you better be writing this down, okay? You know why? Number 1, I designed these episodes this way so you can make a little checklist to check off everything to genuinely change your life. Number 1, if you've left a review or a comment saying the podcast has changed your life, I read them and I just sob. Thank you so much. I am so proud of you, truly. But second of all, doing that is so important because studies show that the people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them, which is a perfect segue into chapter number 3, writing a letter to the end of 2025 you. This is so powerful And there's nothing better than on New Year's Eve reading the letter that you wrote to yourself. You forget what you wrote and just going and seeing the dreams, the prayers, the manifestations, whatever you believe in for yourself for the year, reading them, knowing that a year ago you wrote them for yourself and seeing what came true. And not even that, all of the other amazing things you've done in the year that you didn't even think was possible, that wasn't even on your radar. It's a beautiful feeling, and I wish that you have that, and you will, okay? So right now, as you're listening to this, once you're done, okay, because you need this motivation to genuinely create the best letter to yourself, listen to this all the way through. Then, tonight, I want you to light a candle. I want you to make your favorite wellness beverage, okay? And write a letter to the end of 2025 you. And here's what I want you to include. Number 1, your hopes and dreams. What do you hope that you will achieve at the end of this year or the next year? Number 2, what are the milestones you hope your 2025 self reached? And finally, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel when you reach these goals, when you've jumped over these hurdles, when you are successful at the end of the year? How do you want to feel? This is not just fluff, okay? This is visualization. I want you to visualize the end of 2025 you and write about her, because this is a proven method in terms of helping your manifestations. Genuinely Olympic athletes use the power of visualization to help them become successful, so you absolutely should too. Speaking of which, girl, I am going to let you in on a little secret, because if you made it this far into the episode, I think you're going to like it, okay? In the new year, I am launching on the YouTube, on the podcast, a series, if you will. So I'm going to, in each and every series, essentially pick a different topic that you need to really hone in on. And I'm going to be providing all of the facts, any type of 8-girl action steps, a glow-up checklist, so you can genuinely work on that throughout Q1 of 2025 and become the hottest, healthiest, best version of you in 2025. So if you want to literally say goodbye to your current self and step into a new self that is better, your dream self, subscribe for more. Now, let's get into the next chapter, which is really refining your goal setting, okay? Tomorrow marks a new you. You were meant to listen to this right now. This message genuinely was brought to you by the universe. It is a sign. So I know you probably already have your goals, okay? So we're not going to go into that. We've already done episodes about that. I just want you to really go now and take it one step further. And again, with the visualization, figure out, who is she? You've done the pinning, you've done the mood boards, you've written down your goals, you've done them on your feelings, you made them SMART goals. Great. Now I want you to sit down and just think and write, who is she? Think of the dream you for 2025. What does she look like? What habits does she do? What habits does she absolutely not do that you do right now? What does her morning routine, evening routine look like? Write down who she is. And that's going to help you realize the changes you need to make in your life to be able to step into her. For instance, I keep pinning these beautiful, elegant, feminine women on my Pinterest board. But what do? I work my 9 to 5 in marketing. I come home and I hustle for the podcast because my dream is to be a content creator, truly I am, slay, but like a full-time creator. And it takes a lot of work. So what do I end up doing? I get burnt out, I get tired, I get down on myself, and I don't take the time to be her. But who would she be? She wakes up in the morning with matching pajamas, a silk satin pajama set with an eye mask, heatless curls, which I already do, which is a slay. But then she goes, makes avocado toast every morning because she knows fueling her body is important and she has a healthy relationship with food. She goes and works out or does like 100 sit-ups because she knows she's going to go to the gym later, but that just is going to keep her core tight. She works productively. She uses the Pomodoro method to help keep her accountable and productive. She works out, has a killer routine. She works very hard, but she also knows when to call it quits for the day and to read, to listen to jazz music and cook, to do her laundry in a way that she actually enjoys these tasks by romanticizing them, not to just hustle and bustle and remove all through it to stress herself out and make herself feel so stressed all of the time. Once you visualize who she is, what her life looks like, it allows you to understand the areas of your life that you need to work on. So go to your goals and really think about, okay, who is the dream version of me who has achieved all of these things, what is she doing now? And it's going to give you an extra layer of understanding in terms of how to genuinely make this work for you. Now, action step number 2, girly. I want you to take all your goals, okay? Because I'm sure you have them. I know you do. But do you have categories assigned for them? No, you probably don't. And if you do, slay. Okay, we're going to get through this quick, and this is just going to be consistent validation that you are already that girl. Amazing. But if you're not, no worries. Here's how you can go one step further. Take your goals, break them down to financial goals, to health goals, to beauty goals, to career or school goals, different categories. Get specific. And the reason I want you to do this, girl, is because it's a fact that when you categorize your goals, you will be more likely to be successful. And I want that for you. Now, we've already talked about the goals, okay? How are you going to keep them up? How are you going to keep up with them when you're burnt out, when you're tired, when you're 6 months into 2025? Girly, you're going to keep up, and here's how. Number 1, track your progress. In 2025, you're going to use some type of planner, some type of app, even just your notes app, to keep track of your goals every single month to make sure you're holding yourself accountable. Studies show that by tracking your habits, you can improve consistency by 40%. Now, I know you love a good little checklist, okay? I do too, girly. So here are the bad habits that you are going to ditch. The universe is calling to you right now. This is your sign saying, I know the bad habits you're doing, and I know you might want to ignore them. But now with this checklist, you're not going to be able to, okay? So in 2025, you are going to ditch mindlessly scrolling on your phone. The average person spends 2.5 hours a day on social media alone. That is over 900 hours a year that you could be using to work on yourself, to work on your goals. Tell me again that you don't have time. You are not going to be skipping meals or eating poorly, okay? I don't care what you hear on other podcasts. Once in a while eating out is totally normal. Having sugar once in a while, totally normal. It's about balance, okay? You should be eating healthy most of the time, but don't beat yourself up about eating junk food once in a while. It is the holiday season. If you are listening to this and you've just indulged and you're feeling guilty, you feel like you've gained a little bit of weight, girl, I have too. I'm here to say I'm holding my little pouch of fat, and I would love to say it's going to go away entirely in 2025 because I'm getting married, but it won't. And that is absolutely okay because I'm a normal woman that's happy, that's healthy, that enjoys food, and I am beautiful, and you are too. So number 1, you're going to ditch how you talk badly about yourself. Oh, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly. No, we don't do that anymore. You are what you think, not what you eat necessarily, okay? Eat healthy. I'm all about that and wellness. That's what this podcast is about, but it's not about that toxic diet culture energy. Number 2, if you keep skipping meals and eating like crap, you're going to feel sluggish. This goes both ways, okay? If you don't eat, you're going to feel like crap. Okay, you're going to be angry, and it's genuinely going to make you glow down. Okay, please nourish your body. With that being said, if you eat Taco Bell every single day, that's also the opposite, okay? It's genuinely all about balance. Listen to your body, fuel yourself when you're hungry, try your best to fuel yourself with healthy, nutrient-dense foods, but once in a while, when you want to just enjoy the food that is around you, give yourself permission. It is absolutely normal. Okay, next thing, we're gonna ditch people pleasing. Girl, I hate to break it to you, but saying yes to everything will burn you out. Learn to protect your peace. It is okay to say no. Articulate your boundaries. This is going to help you later in life. It's going to be a skill that is hard to exercise, but once you master it, your future you is going to go and just snaps and claps and say, thank you, girl. Next up, you're gonna ditch procrastination. In 2025, you're just gonna start small. You might be overwhelmed by a big task, okay? Go and say, what is one thing I can do that's very tiny, not overwhelming, that just gets me to put the foot in the door of starting this task? And I can guarantee you, once you take that first step, that first leap, you're just going to easily be able to walk through that goal like it's nothing afterwards, okay? You build this thing up in your head like it's so daunting, but once you get started, it ain't nothing but a thing. And once you're finished it, you feel like that girl. It's a win-win. Now, I am not about to reveal all of my bad habits, and girl, I have been through a lot, okay? I have done my fair share of crazy, cringy, insane things in my time, but I don't share that on this side of the podcast. With that being said, if you want a little bit more unfiltered vibes from me, I do have a podcast subscription on Spotify. You can go to Spotify, for $2.99 a month Canadian, okay? Less than a cup of Starbucks coffee, and genuine, just plain coffee. None of that like special fancy drinks, okay? Less than that, you get 2 episodes every month that talks about, again, how you can glow up, become the best version of you. That's a little bit less edited, it's unfiltered, it's raw, a different side of me. So if that interests you and you want to become a get up and glow unfiltered girly, head over to Spotify, click the button on anything that has the locked icon, okay, and follow the prompts that Spotify brings you to be able to subscribe to the Unfiltered podcast. I want to just sit and chat with you for a second, okay? Before you go into this new year, number one, I know you've done all your year in review. I know you've looked at your old goals. I know you've created new ones. But have you taken a second to just sit down and say, thank you to yourself? Thank me. I'm so proud of me. You should. Look at how far you've come this year. Look at all the things that you've overcome, all the hardships that you went and you just jumped over, you just plowed right through. Look at what you did this year, girl. Okay, and I know it's easy to get down and say, oh, I'm looking at all these content creators online and they're so gorgeous and they're so established. I get it, but you're just a normal girl, just like, okay, you're going to school, you're going to work every single day, trying to provide for yourself, trying to make yourself better, trying to have balanced friendships and relationships and your self-care and your workouts and your cleanliness, everything. That is hard, but you got through it. And I am so proud of you if no one has told you yet this year, okay? And again, this is your sign. This episode is your sign to listen. It is from the universe, from God, whatever speaks the most to you, saying, I am so proud of you. I cannot believe everything that you've accomplished, but at the same time, is like, it was your destiny all along. So of course, and you think that you did well this year, girl. 2025 is the year your life changes. 2025 is the year that you break up with this self-limiting beliefs, this negative self-talk. It's the year where you go and you recognize your demons, the inner work you have to do, and you actually take action. You actually make changes. And you let go of that need to be perfect all of the time. And through that detachment of all of your goals, and you hyperfixate so much, instead you flow and you follow the flow and the Glow and Flow series on TikTok. You are going to become a version of you that you don't even right now realize what's possible. But I believe in you, girl. So much. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Get Up and Glow podcast. I hope you had a lovely holiday season. Thank you for sticking with me. If you are a glow up girly and you realize I did not post on Christmas Eve, I personally needed to take a little bit of a break to enjoy the holidays and also just reflect and look inwards of the accomplishments I've made as well. So I want to take the moment before that ball drops this evening to say thank you so much for all of your support, for all of your comments. Every time I see you guys comment on a YouTube video or a Spotify podcast, every time I read a review for the podcast, it fills my heart with joy. The fact that you guys care so much about this podcast, that you want to see the unfiltered side of me, so much so that you paid $3 a month to genuinely see that, makes me feel so happy. And my life's purpose is to help you. I feel your energy, and I know it sounds crazy, girl, but I do. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm saying, and not this like regular, like this is your sign. I'm speaking to you directly. You are gonna make 2025 the best year yet, and I believe in you so much. Go easy on yourself, girl. Listen to this, and when you're done, do all the action steps we've talked about, but give yourself some time to celebrate. It is a new year. That means that your dreams, just keep dreaming. Believe in your dreams. The power of imagination, we are born into that in this world, and it's such a huge superpower. Adults lose that. But if you don't, and you keep imagining your life for not how it is, but how it could be, and you not only do that, but you learn how to work on yourself to achieve those goals, the opportunities are endless for you. I hope you have an amazing year. I am so excited to start the new series in 2025. In 3 months, girl, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and not even recognize yourself in a good way, okay? Because you are totally okay and enough as you are right now, just FYI. Regardless, that's all for this episode of the Get Up and Glow podcast. I hope you have a marvelous 2025. Thank you for sticking around for a year. Till next time, bye.